Hey everyone, this is really weird. This is me at the end of the review. I'm just putting this in here because the review starts out really positive, and for those of you who only watch a couple minutes, I don't want you to run out and buy these. Watch a few minutes at the start, and then maybe if you gotta go, skip to the end and watch that part first. Enjoy positive me before it all went wrong. Hello, all my friends. We are going to talk today about some Nerf Elite Jr. So let's go. By the way, there will be some merch coming soon. Crazy. I already did a short on this cool little blaster, the Explorer. It's a 4-dart smart AR system. And you know what? It worked pretty well. With Elite darts, I was getting in the 30s and low 40. And then with Chili darts, I was getting a little bit closer to 40s and almost to 50. So they weren't lying about the whole junior part of it, but that's what the whole brand is. In that short, I kind of cover in broad strokes some things that are similar to all the blasters. We have this trigger that's big enough for 2 fingers. We have a priming handle that I can put multiple fingers in, which honestly would not be a bad design to incorporate in other blasters. Like, that's pretty cool for me as an adult, especially if something had a stiffer prime. I also like this big wide sight. Nerf sights are not exactly for sighting, they're more cosmetic in a lot of blasters. Kind of reminded me of the Nerf Zesty, the Fortnite blaster. It had a sight that was kind of like a big ring. I also liked all the handhold areas. I love the color and the design of these. The quality and feeling of the plastic is top notch. They don't hit very hard, but they're not supposed to. My friend Markus at Foam Blasted, he did try to mod one of these and he ran into some trouble. It didn't seem to be super mod friendly, but I'm sure people will get there. I'm sure he could get there if he revisits the project. I also liked in this little smart AR barrel here, it's almost a little bit tapered where the darts go in to make it a bit easier. Some people had said that they experienced some issues with the dart fit or darts being too loose and causing, as you fired the blaster, the last dart to kind of shake loose a little bit. I didn't really experience that a whole lot, but I'm using all newer darts. And that can be something that happens in smart AR systems. That just means as it fires through the darts, a little bit of plastic closes up the vent so that the air goes through the next hole. So that also means that usually by the last dart, a little less power is going through. That's not much of an explanation on smart ARs, air restrictors. You can Google that or watch people who are better than me explain that, I'm sure. And I think there's a real place for these blasters in the hobby. Now, some of you might say, but Anthony, isn't this basically Maverick and before that performance? Sure, but with an industrial design, with all of those ergonomic things to make it a lot friendlier for kids to get a hold of. Now, these blasters say 6 and up. Regular Elite blasters are 8 and up. A 6-year-old can probably operate a lot of the Elite blasters. I'm sure for lots of legal reasons they put those numbers on the thing. But this is now a blaster that probably a 4 or 5-year-old can manage to use. In these blasters, there are not tactical rails, there are not end strike attachment points. These are meant to be kind of standalone toys for smaller kids. Now, some of you might say, oh, but my kid is a young Hercules, he can prime Dart Zone Pro blasters. Whatever. I think that there is a place for really little kids for using things that if they do hit each other in the head with a dart, it's a lot less likely to do anything because they are going a lot slower. Let's get into some of the new stuff. I found these on my local shelves at Walmart. This is the Nerf Elite Jr Flyer. I saw some pictures on this online, and I thought maybe this was a clip that moved up through, yes, I said clip, up through the blaster, but it turns out it's just a dart holder. This is a single shot blaster. Great packaging and colors on all this stuff. I don't like that all the darts are just packaged loose. I end up with a lot of damaged darts. This is a bit weird. This will hold 8 darts in the holder and fire 1 dart. They only give you 5 darts to make it look good from one side. Just like there's only paint on one side. That's a little silly, guys. These are a unique colored dart. It would be nice to give people whatever. That seems weirdly cheap to me. The dart holder is kind of neat though. I actually like the look of this one. Has a ton in common with the Explorer. Sorry, a lot of new blasters. As far as that great big round sight, which I like. Same priming handle, same size, exact same one. I think they all basically, the ones who use a back prime have the same size handle. The grip is the same size. The grip is the same, no, not quite the same grip. It's very, very close in design. A lot of similarities from these blasters, but that makes sense. They would have put a lot of work into the ergonomics of this and they'd want to recycle that. I like the little phaser look of this. Let's prime it. It seems to work about the same speeds as the Explorer. It sounds a little twangier than the Explorer, but... So this is basically, it's a lot like the Stego Smash or a Night Finder, or anything that has that kind of rear prime and fires a dart. These Elite darts, they're never super great. You're going to get better luck out of waffles or chili darts or something like that. But overall, as a little single shotter, I like it. It's probably a bit more comfortable for an adult to hold because it doesn't have this guard underneath like the Explorer had. But it's only one shot too. But I think this is cool. A cool little gift for a kid, or a cool little thing for them to play with a big sibling. Or I think these are neat. And this one wasn't super expensive. But I think it was $14. So it's a bit premium, but you know, that's Nerf. I also found this Nerf Elite Jr Ultimate Starter Set. I'll have to check the price on that. I don't remember. I'll put it down below. It was again in that price range of a little bit much, but not super unexpected. I like the look of both of these blasters, the Scout Fire and the Cadet. Let's open this up and take a look. These darts at least had a wrapper around them. And weirdly, you get a bunch of darts with this set. And this is a single shot with no storage. And this is a 2-shot Smart AR. Weird. I guess I can use these extra darts and I can fill up my flyer. So this is almost a lot like that Elite 2.0 pack. That little tactical one with the 2-shot AR. I'll have to share what that is above. I can't remember the name of it right now, but a smaller kid version. Has a little pump grip. I will say one thing they did with the pump grip here, they actually put a rest for your fingers in the back in the right spot. There's a lot of Nerf blasters that the pump grips are weird and slippery, and the notch that you would actually want your fingers to rest against, it's kind of backwards. But this is actually a pretty easy to get a grip on pump grip. The handle's a little different on this one. It's angled back more. It's really more kind of shotgunny. Doesn't have any sort of kind of rail underneath to impede my hand. The grip from my hand is pretty good. My fingers fit on, I should do it this way. My fingers fit on there pretty well. Again, I like that big target. It's a bigger blaster for a 2-shot AR, but I think it looks cool. Let's see how it works. I'm going to do that again. I feel like my top one went less far than my bottom one, which happened again. That's weird. Anyway, we'll do some chronograph numbers on this after. This might be a little bit of, you know what, you've seen one, you've seen them all. It's cool. It's pretty cute. The pump grip is actually pretty neat. I probably should have saved that one for last. Now we're kind of ending with the little Scout, although this could be a really cool one for modding as well. It just has kind of a neat profile to it. It's basically the flyer with a different design. It's a single shot. It doesn't have any of this stuff down below here. The same size trigger, the same priming rod on it or priming handle, and the same big open target. I feel like what to recommend in this series, it kind of comes down to what do you like the look of. Functionally, they're not drastically different. On the surface, this one might come out best because it does hold 4 shots before someone has to reload. But if we're talking really, really little, that's more complication. And if a dart does come loose, they might not know. That hit my camera. What's going on here? What's going on there? I have found that the darts that have come with these junior blasters seem to be worse. This is not very scientific. They seem to be worse. What? They seem to be worse than normal Elite darts. I don't know that. What? I don't know what's going on. These seem to be like a little stiffer than other ones. I'm going to get some chili darts and come back, and we're just not going to even look at these anymore. Nerf, I'm one of your biggest fans. You need to change your darts. Your darts are so bad. How do you even review things when you can't use the darts that you give with your blasters? Come on. I feel like my review is going a little sideways here, but I find it pretty weird that the darts that came with this set don't work in my Explorer. The darts that came with my Explorer did work in there. Now they're kind of mixed in with other stuff because I've fired them downrange. I don't really use them. But that's some pretty drastic inconsistency in the same line. Let's make sure, for argument's sake, that the Explorer isn't broken and put some chili darts in here. This blaster, There we go. I wonder if this is something they're actually going to face with these lower power ones. A little bit less oomph to deal with dart inconsistency. I didn't have that happen when I reviewed this before. Very inconsistent. Am I changing my tune a little bit? Live in front of your eyes? I've been kind of a booster of this series, and I definitely see a point to it, but I am very bothered by just how inconsistent it is. I don't need it to hit hard, but I need it to be somewhat consistent though. You guys have seen me doing this a bunch. I'm going to show you some downrange footage of each of these blasters, and I'll let you come to your own conclusions. Some of that dart inconsistency aside, I am really liking this Cadet quite a bit. I think this one's really cute because it is a pump grip. It's just a nice mix up to this other formula. The Flyer seems to have kind of the worst performance, which is weird. They should be very, very similar. And we seem to be having a lot of dart trouble with this 4-shot. We seem to be having a lot of dart trouble with this 4-shot Smart AR. And other people had problems that I hadn't had until now. So this one might actually be one to avoid. What a jumbled review this has been. I apologize. Part of me is like, I should start over. I'm not going to, though. You know what? I'm going to bust out some Nerf AccuStrike. At least these are Nerf and kind of usable. Here we go with the Flyer. Let's see if we can hit that green target. You know what? We almost did. Wow, that was weird. Here's one of the included darts. That did almost nothing. Let's check out the Scout Fire. Here it is with the chili. That did not make it to my target. Let's try a Nerf AccuStrike. That went over my target. Let's try another Nerf AccuStrike. That Nerf AccuStrike works pretty well in this. All right, I'm going to go back to the Explorer, the 4-shot Smart AR blaster. It did not fire that out of the barrel. I don't know what's going on, guys. I literally used this a bunch. And I don't know why it's just not working anymore. And here's the Cadet. Cadet's pretty solid. Let's try the Cadet with chilies. Yep, it's fine. Let's throw one of the Elite darts it came with in there. Does kind of the same thing. I'm going to try the Explorer with Nerf Elite Jr darts that came with these, just to be fair to it. That did come out. That came out. That didn't come out. Wow. Well, gee, what started out as kind of a fun little, hey, I like these, has kind of become a, hey, I don't know that I would buy these. I haven't opened this or tried to mod this, and now it doesn't want to fire any darts. The main difference must be, and I don't know where they are, they're mixed in with my other darts, is when I tested it before, maybe those darts were a little tiny bit different, and these are all a little tighter, but this is just not... And it did fire them all this time, but one of those barely came. This one is barely coming out now. It's a real shame because I really like the ergonomics of these. I like the thought that has gone into all of these. I will say this 2-pack set, these blasters seem to work pretty well. But honestly, this blaster worked pretty well a couple weeks ago when I did a video on it. Really seems to make a difference what kind of darts you have. Although I've tried these ones with a wider variety of darts and they seem okay. This one was low powered right out of the gate. If I didn't have a couple of them, I would wonder if they were defective. That's a real shame. They look really cool, and I think they're a good idea. There's just no way on earth that all this wouldn't have come up in testing. Oh, yeah. I meant to talk about the Rambler and the Voyager, but I got too sad. The Voyager looks like it's going to be a lot like the Cadet, except it has kind of a back piece here, and it has a big scope on it. And the Rambler is going to be an 8-cylinder pump action like this, and it has some extra stuff on it too. It looks cool, but I don't know, this dart fit problem is big. Maybe all blasters would have a dart fit problem if they had less power. Maybe that's part of it. I don't know. I hope this helped. If you were thinking about these, I could maybe still squeeze out a recommendation, but maybe just keep an eye out for a Jolt or a little X-Shot blaster. Or take a blaster that you love, put a T-pull on it, and maybe cut off a spring. I don't know. We might have to look for other ways. I'll see you guys next time.